so now we're going into our sets, okay? Starting with 10, going to 24. Then before we get into 16, I want to brush over some things. When we do our set, the 10 first, kind of take a new look and see how your principles are being worked in. And I'll try to alert you because I think we see things that we can refine as a class, as a group. Okay? Yang 10 form. Dropping those shoulders right away because that's Tai Chi posture. Bringing it in slightly. Growing through the spine is not raising shoulders, okay? Commencing form. Rotate. Deep breath. Relax, reverse, flex, center, higher, glance, open. Bring it in. Meet, slide. Glance, turn, meet, slide. Where are your spirals? Hands go for the ride. Hips and waist, driving those motion. Spiral. Bottom hand advances. Energy out to the fingertips. Leave the hands there. Grow through your core. Definitely dropping of the shoulders. Definitely using the hips and waist. Head straight up. Sway with the hips. Spiral up, but spiral down. Gather, semicircle, closer to your dantian. Tuck those elbows, follow. Semicircle, closer to your dantian. Tuck the elbows. Ward off, stop or pause. Turn hips and waist, reposition, then sit back, sit down, turn at the hips and waist. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, center push out. Sit down, then come up, and then lunge forward together with feet and hands. Bottom hand advances, pause, turn, then reposition. Contact, push. Sit down, spiral up, lunge forward. Twist, open twist, in, cross hands, then shift weight up, rotate in, push out. Use your core now. Sometimes I see when you push out, it's a wrist movement. Should never see the wrist leading the motion. Okay, want to go over grasping of the bird's tail. I think everybody can improve that. When you ward off, all you need is a distance to get that power. Once you carry it too close, you don't have that power. The opposite occurs. If you ward off too much, you're out of Tai Chi posture. You're out of Tai Chi posture. So we know that to ward off, you need a certain distance or a gap between you and your opponent to forearm him. But what we have forgotten or did not learn clear enough is that you turn your hips and waist, then reposition your hands. Again, you ward off, you pause. You've heard me say that. Turn hips and waist, then reposition. So that is correctly the correct instruction. But what we see is this. So what do we see that is incorrect is that you did not pause and took the warding off and grasping of the bird's tail into one meshed up movement rather than separating out. Ward off, pause, turn, reposition, come down, sit down. So when I say hands go for the ride, you're in this position. How do you get your hands back there? You sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn at the hips and waist, push, separate, sit back, sit down. If I can sit down, I can store the energy. Then I can unstore like this. Okay, can we try that? Going left, warding off. Out L, push, forearm, pause, turn hips and waist, then reposition. Then sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist to look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center, push out, separate, sit back, sit down, drop those shoulders, push up, lunge forward, sit back, sit down, pivot, twist step, ball, out, L, bottom hand advances, forearm, pause, turn, reposition, sit down, sit back, turn the hips and waist, contact, turn the hips and waist, center, push, roll back, sit down, store energy, then push forward. Okay, so hopefully you can do a better job. You did hear me say, drop your shoulders. They were already dropped, but I'm not dropping them like this. I am using my core to sit down when I, not elevate, what do you call it, come down. It's not that I'm pushing it down, but I'm lowering myself because my knee in the back is pushing, is making my upper body come down. It's not this thing coming down, but it's coming down altogether because my core is allowing me to sit down on that stool. Okay, so very different. It's not that I'm asking you to change your position of your shoulder. The shoulder is already relaxed. It's just planting down or rooting down or obeying gravity, getting you into the most optimal position. Okay, so we're going to go on to 24. It's loaded with stuff, and I want to make sure that everybody kind of incorporates those principles. Okay, and change the music a little bit. Kick it up, and maybe pick something more upbeat. Although that one's pretty good. Okay, but don't zone out too much. Get in those principles, okay? Okay, good Tai Chi posture. Yang 24. Commencing form. Open. Drop. Round out. Hands go for the ride. Half step. Spin, look. Rock front, lift up. Tuck the elbow, bisect, swirl back, lift the front foot up, heel, hands go for the ride, multitask. but rounding the crotch. Round the crotch gives you more energy, uses the energy better. Half step, rock, spin, set your hand. Drop front, open, look, lead with the toe, all together. Spin on that axle, shift your weight. Toe leads the motion, spin on the axle, smooth it out. Glance as it rises, lead with the toe, spin. Glance, lift, modify, and shift. Nice rounded ball. Pause, you've got him. Turn hips and waist. Turn hips and waist. Contact, turn again. Leave the shoulders down. Just root down. Obeying gravity, going with the flow. Pause, you've got him. Turn the hips and waist. Contact, turn again. Push and separate that energy. Sit down. Come up without raising shoulders. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Shift weight, hook, look, cross face, L. Hips and waist, hands go for the ride. Hands are only enhanced by our hips and waist and our lower body. Spiral nicely. T. Needle. Stretch out. Rock. Pivot. One sweep up, spin out, deflect, bring it in, carry, then punch. Roll back, sit down. Come up, together, lunge forward. Twist, open, in, shift, cross hands, then shift, up, in, out. Use your core, drop, tuck. Are you tucking those elbows? Lift off, closing your form. Okay, so, I want to work on, not now, but I think next week, serpent in the grass, okay? Because I see too many things. But just a heads up, and this is not an excuse, but it is in a way in that my knee is sort of frozen. This hand, okay, just giving you a heads up, Keep it up high. Keep it up high. Okay, my original lesson was to tuck it back here. But here, here, root it down. The other side. That other side, the hand is still suspended up. Don't keep it closer to your thigh, okay? And then, I don't know which one to pick, but people have trouble with this. Then turn. Sit back, out step, balance with the ball, L stance, turn. As it goes to the forehead, turn the hips and waist, finish up that back, across. This one, let gravity take you down. And up and down, up and down. You saw that? So I'm going to take off on it. Watch now. One is higher, one is lower. One is fisted, one comes up, one comes down. You're going to spin out, deflect, parry, and then punch. Okay, so taking off on that hand that comes down, then the punch that comes up for the 16, okay? So I think rather than isolate it right now, just be aware that that has to be supported a little bit more. So we're going to do the 16. We're going to do it under the same premise in which, what are the principles that are driving your movements? When we come to that last brush knee, make sure that you are aware that the left hand is down, the right hand punches up, and then deflects. And then we'll work on that, okay? All right, Yang 16 form. Grow taller through your spine. Commencing form, shift weight, open, 50-50, rotate, deep breath, relax, root down. Part the wild horse's mane. Use the crotch to round it out, that energy. Half step, spin, look at the left hand as the front foot goes to its toes, lift it off, stretch it out with the knee, white crane, tuck the elbow as you drop, take care of gravity. Spiral to the left hand as you lift up the front, brush knee 1. Set the hands up, round the crotch, brush knee 2. Sit back, out, fist the right hand, higher left, up, down, heel, spin out to deflect, bring it in as you parry, bring it out as you punch. Touch, open, roll back, sit down. Spiral up, then forward. Pivot on the back, pivot on the front. Hook, T stance across the face, out L, turn the wrists, single whip. Half step, double, spiral, heel. Open, glance, lift up, stretch out, meet, pull back. Center, lead with the toe, lift up, stretch, spin on that axle, meet, 2. Pivot, pirouette, kick out heel, reposition ball, heel out. As it goes to the forehead, turn hips and waist. Sit back, instep, ball, out heel, turn, spin the ball, turn hips and waist, shuttle right. half step to the back, better position, bend and go down with gravity. One hand, two hands, then your foot. Extend the knee out with the heel, flash arms. Sit back, twist, 12 cup, 9, hips and waist, 12, 3, close. Hips, waist, 9, hips, waist, 12, hips, waist, 3, T, ball, in, out, ward, off, pause, turn, reposition, down, turn hips, contact, turn hips, push, center, separate, then roll back, sit, down, then up, forward together. Sit down, twist, ball, T, bring it in, out, ward, off. Separate the movements, turn, pull down the bird's tail. Contact, turn, push, separate, then roll back, sit, down, then up, then forward. Twist, open, in. Cross hands first, then shift your weight and rotate. Bring him in slightly. Drop shoulders, flex knees. Okay. Is it better? Did you address your principles? I have no way of checking you, so you're going to have to be disciplined to check your own principles, okay? So the way to check is that every movement that I do, whether it's commencing form, whether it's drilling down but tucking those elbows, okay? I wonder if you do this. I wonder if you do this. I wonder if you do this. Can you do that? You come up and you do this. This is tucking of the elbow. You're this way and you tuck. What do the elbows do? They turn in as they come down. They do not stay there. They turn towards the in. And how do they come down? They come down with your rooting down, dropping even further the shoulders and flexing of the knee. So when you hear me say closing form, commencing form, a lot of the different things, you tuck the elbow in. When you shift your weight, gather the energy closer to your dantian. So you don't come out here, you don't come out here, you come closer to your body, your dantian point. The hands, when they come, rise up with the foot, the elbows are in, they do not come up like this, and that's an extreme, okay? You bring them in, because why? You want to center yourself, you want that power to be within your mid area. Okay, let's begin. Commencing form, shift weight, open. Rotate, deep breath. Tuck the elbows, drop the shoulders, flex the knees, hands go for the ride. T-stance, ball, bring it in, out, round the crotch, get a good stretch. Hands go for the ride. Sit back, lower to store that energy, shift weight, out, round the crotch, 2. Half step. Hold your ball, bring it in. Sit back on the back foot, watch that left hand go up. Lift to the toe, stretch out the knee, white crane. So I don't see too many of you watching that left hand go up. So let's take it from parting of the wild horse's mane, okay? Out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. 1, sit back, and 2, half step, Watch that left hand go up at the same time that goes to the toe. Stretch out that knee, set it down, drop even further because your weight is on the back. Drop the front foot, tuck the elbow in, then bicep. Come to the danten, swirl back and look back, lift up the front foot, set it on its heel, hands go for the ride. Sit back, twist out, set up the hands, heel, round the crotch. What is that magic? The hips and waists are making that magic. Sit back, okay? Let's go carefully on this one. Twist out, left hand higher, right hand fisted, all together, down and up, twist out and a deflect. Bring it in as a parry. Come out as a punch. Okay, come back. So we're on the last, we're on the first and last brush knee, okay? Sit back, twist out, left hand higher, right hand lower with a fist, balance out as it shifts its plane, spin out, bring it in, parry, then punch. Okay, turn this way. Watch. This is slow motion, but hopefully when you get it, it will go a little faster. Watch one more time. I'm not sure if I have everybody's attention. Last brush knee. Okay, try that. Last brush knee, which is like first brush knee, okay? Brush knee, out, hands go for the ride. Out, high, low, fist, deflect, bring it in a parry, then punch. Okay? Let's take it on and maybe we'll catch something else. Pivot on the back, pivot on the front, hook, shift the weight as the hand comes across the face, out, L, single whip. Double swirls as you take your half step. On your toe, then place on your heel. Center, glance only when that hand starts to come up. Lead with the toe, spin on the axle, shift your weight. Glance, lift up, spin, pivot, let's go slowly, up on your toe, hands go for the ride. Spin out, correct, ball, start to rotate, turn hips and waists, finish up. Sit back, twist in, ball, slowly, out L, rotate that ball as you see it by your eye, turn hips and waists, shuttle right. Okay, half step to the back, across the hips and waists, set up the top, left hand, come down with gravity. One hand, join it by the second. This is a way of centering with your foot. Extend, out, flash. Sit back, twist 12. Turn the hips and waist 9. Turn the hips and waist 12. Turn the hips and waist 3. 12, turn, open, turn, shift, T, ball, bring it in, out, ward off, what did you learn? Pause, turn hips and waist, sit down, sit back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn again, push, roll back, sit down, spiral up, then forward. Sit, twist, round with the ball, bring it in, out, round the crotch, ward off. Turn hips and waist. Bring down the bird's tail using your hips and waist. Using your hips and waist to separate the energy. Roll back, sit down, spiral up, forward, twist, another twist, another twist. Embrace first, then shift weight, rotate, in, out, using the core. Use your flexing and your dropping as you let gravity take care of everything. Okay. Okay, good job. See you next time.